Alright, welcome back guys to another homework video. This time we're taking a look at semester 2, homework number 10. So this kind of had a lot to do with inheritance, and you were dealing with the abstract item class. You can see your little family tree there. And so this had a lot of parts, so let's just go ahead and take it one at a time. So for this, you were given the partial definition of the abstract item class. And that was basically for, buying stuff, and it would tell you how much stuff cost, what it was called, and then, it got more complicated as you got into its children here. So the first thing that you were asked to do was to write the item method purchase price. So the purchase price is its list price plus the tax on the item. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So you're given most of this. All you really have to do is write this method right here. So let me go to my item class. So I have all the stuff that we've already given. It's already given us. And then on the AP test, you won't have to write everything that they give you. That's not required. But for the purpose of our homework, we want to compile and run this. We want to make sure we have the right solution. So I went ahead and copied everything that they already give us into my Notepad++ so that I can compile and run it. And then so we've got purchase price right here. So create this double. Final price is get list price, and up here you can see that I have get list price is an abstract method. And if you've forgotten, because we went over inheritance a few weeks ago and before break, what an abstract method is. So this is a abstract class, and then we have a few methods that are defined, and so these methods will run the same way, like get name, for every one of the ones underneath it. So it will always return name. It will always return name. But abstract methods, we can define get list price differently in household than in luxury, and it'll run it depending on which one you're calling it for. So if you create a household and you tell it to get list price, then it knows that it might be different from luxury. So that's what that means. So anyway, moving on. So we want to call get list price, however that works in the class that we're calling it for. And then we're going to do added tax is final price times tax rate. So this is just, this is dealer price or whatever, and then we're going to multiply times the tax rate, and then we're going to add the added tax plus the final price, and then we're going to return the final price. Hopefully that makes sense. And then, so that wasn't too bad. And then the next thing that you guys have to do is create the household class, which extends the item class, and list price for the household class is just the dealer cost. So I think we ended up with 3 parameters in the constructor. Oh, and then I forgot to mention that this also gives you a constructor. So we're going to be using that. So we have public class household extends item, so that means it's underneath it in the family tree like we saw in that little drawing. And then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then, so we have our constructor. So we have private double dealer price, which is different from, that's what we're going to use to get list price here. And then, so in our constructor, we have 3 parameters. We have dealer, we have tax rate, and then we have n, which is going to be name. So super rate n, so that means it's just going to say, hey, there's a class above me that also has a constructor. Let's run that for these 2 variables. The item class only has a parameter only has 2 parameters, so we're going to use those and do that to them. So we're going to assign it to the private doubles up here. You notice that I don't have private tax rate and private name here because it extends item that it can access them. That's fine. And then dealer price is just dealer. So we assign those. And then we have public double get list price. We're going to return dealer price. So that way now we have the household class is able to run purchase price because we need a get list price method. And there we go. So now we're all set up there. And then the last one was the most complicated one, and that was the luxury class. So that also extends the item class, but it doesn't extend household. If we go back up here, you got to be careful with that. They're 2 separate, they're not one on top of the other. So these are different. So we're not going to say extends household. They are both extend item, but they're not directly related to each other other than that. So they extend the item class, and it has 2 parts to its list price, dealer cost, and dealer markup. And then so the list price is just the sum of the dealer cost and the dealer markup. So if we go ahead and take a look here, so again, public class luxury extends item. So then we have private double dealer price, private double dealer markup. One more time, I do not have private double tax rate and private string name because I don't need it because it extends item. And then, so we have 4 parameters here. We're going to do super rate n, and then dealer price is price, dealer markup is markup. And then public double get list price. Double list price is dealer price plus dealer markup, like the instructions told us. We're going to return list price. And then they also told you to create this public method change markup, which allows you to just, so you put in your new markup and then it changes dealer markup to new markup. So I have this starter, and you guys were given one in particular to run, and you were supposed to get a certain output. I changed mine a little bit, but that's okay. So here's our little starter guy. So I have the same thing for the most part. I just have some different numbers on it and everything, and then let me go ahead, compile and run that. So compiles just fine, run, and here we go. Private Island purchase is $65,100. Apple price purchase is $6. And then this is just because of the way that it ends up working out. The instructions didn't tell you to do anything to prevent that. I know that's not how money works. So, I mean, if you did, great, but you didn't have to. This is fine. If you had someone using this program, they would get this back and they would just say, okay, we're going to round that to $6.08. And then potential purchase is $6.25. So yeah, not too bad. We're going back to inheritance, which is something we haven't touched on in a while, at least in my period. So hopefully you guys were able to recall all that, and if you needed a quick lesson once again, hopefully this helped you out. So yeah, there you go. That was your homework for this week. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.